As drug abuse continues to threaten families and communities across Nigeria, stakeholders are shifting attention from treatment to prevention. With families leading the fight against substance abuse, it is against this backdrop that over 100 participants gathered in Abuja for the Maiden Drug-Free Future Summit, Dffs 2026, where stakeholders launched a coordinated campaign to protect young people from drug abuse.
We often don't mention the mother who is at loss in terms of how to help her child, or the father who, because of the stigma, is unable to function at work, or the siblings who are ashamed because of their brother or sister's drug use. So the impact of the family is often missed when we're talking about the statistics. Therefore, this theme on breaking the cycle and empowering families comes in as a very crucial and important discourse for us to tackle. As you know, families are, first of all, the first protectors, the first institution that a child is exposed to, and therefore it sets the pace for the child in many ways. When the family lacks support, when poverty, trauma, stigma, or lack of information take hold, the risk for substance use increases and the cycle deepens. So we must break the cycle. And I'm glad that we're here to look into what each of us can do and will do to play our part in breaking this cycle. I trust that this convening session here will help us to go away empowered with our own thoughts and the own actions that we will take, even in our small unit, to ensure that the people around us are able to rightly prevent others and the young people from experimenting in drugs.
Issue in this country is the consistent somersault of government policies. Government policies are not being driven the way they are supposed to. And we keep talking about this issue, drug abuse. Now, let me tell you this for free. Most of the private schools in this FCT, my interaction with some of them, they don't even want you to talk about drug tests in their schools. They say parents will kick against it. Then where are we heading to? Where are we heading to? And it has come to that point where I have come to the conclusion that in the issue of drug, we are living in a state of denial. In a state of denial. The problem is there. We see it, we acknowledge it, but we don't want to have it solved. So I urge the journalists here that are here today to tax the federal government, tax the state government, tax the local government, ask the Federal Ministry of Education, ask the State Ministry of Education, why is it that we are not teaching drug education in schools? So many years ago, the National Colleges of Education were meant to be teaching drug in their various colleges of education to bring up teachers who can actually go back to the system and do the teaching. But what happened? So there's a failure on the part of government. And as long as there's a failure on the part of government, the issue of drug will keep lingering on. Yes, it will be there. Because the young ones, one of the biggest challenges they face is that when they have this, their challenge, they always run to the wrong people to tell them what to do. And what is that challenge? Lack of self-esteem. You want to pass your exam. You want to be bold. Again, we say family. What have the parents done on their own? We know parents that have shown bad example to their children. They take alcohol, they smoke cigarettes. Cigarette is what we say is the getaway drug for the bigger drugs. They ask their children to buy drugs for them. Oh, go and buy me beer. Go and buy me cigarette. How are you bringing up good children? So we need to sit down as parents, ask ourselves, have we done what is expected of us? Because once we begin to do these things that are expected of us, we will have the right children we expect to have in our home.
The summit, organized by Balm for the Bruised Foundation to mark the 50th birthday of its founder, Princess-Ekwi Ajide, focused on the theme, Breaking the Cycle, Empowering Families Against Drug Abuse. Speakers agreed that stronger families, community engagement and sustained partnerships remain the most effective weapons against the growing drug menace.
The challenge of drug abuse beyond the headlines. The causes of youth hostility in Nigeria are multifaceted and deeply rooted in personal and environmental factors. Drug abuse is much more than a matter of poor choices. The young people are angry. They are becoming more and more restive. Violence gets ignited at the slightest provocation. I don't know how many people drove here to this place. Even when you are driving in the streets, the way they overtake, the way they want to push you out of the road. Many young people who experiment with drugs are not seeking destruction. They don't want to destroy themselves or their family. Somehow they may be seeking consolation, relief from stress, or escape from difficult circumstances. That is to say that preventing drug abuse requires understanding as well as guidance.
You know, when I came in and saw the keynote speaker speaking, I felt that we are dealing with a subject matter that is so fundamental to the future of Nigeria. Because the issue of substance abuse, as it is now known in many other places, has become very fundamental. And it's on that note that I commend those of you who have made yourselves available for a time like this. And I want to thank the resource persons. Thank you very, very much. You are investing in an area that is very, very, very important for nation building. And unless we take responsibility as a people to address this issue frontally, we may not be able to get to where we are going.
Prevention through education. We need to create more awareness. Sensitization must begin early and be sustained. Through schools, communities, leaders, faith groups, and the media must deliver accurate, stigma-free information about the risks of substance misuse and skills amongst the young people. And we need more awareness in our families. Family empowerment and support. Families are the first line of defense. We must expand parenting programs, provide counseling services, and create support network so that families do not feel isolated when confronting our loved ones' drug use. Accessible treatment and rehabilitation is one area. Addiction is a health issue, not a normal failing. We need increased investment in evidence-based treatment, also affordable rehabilitation centers and reintegration programs that will equip recovering individuals with education as well as vocational training.
Drugs and substance abuse increase aggressive behavior. No doubt, drug abuse harms children by damaging their brains, making learning and self-control very hard. Substance abuse fuels violent crimes and domestic abuse. Presently, armed groups, bandits, and insurgents use hard drugs before carrying out raids, kidnapping, and mass attack. During the Army War College Intelligence Seminar in Abuja, the Chief Executive Officer of NDLA, General Buba Marwa, raised concerns over growing link between illicit drug abuse and insecurity in Nigeria. Illegal proliferation of arms has been significantly aggravated by drug abuse, threatening educational development and realization of sustainable development goals.
With its successful debut, Dffs is expected to become an annual platform for advancing drug prevention, strengthening families and promoting a drug-free Nigeria.
Too many dreams have been cut short, too many futures placed at risk, and too many parents are asking where things went wrong. Yet, despite these challenges, we have reason to hope. That hope begins in our family. It begins with parents who listen, teachers who guide, communities that care, faith leaders who mentor, and young people who choose courage over peer pressure. This belief inspired the establishment of Balm for the Bruised Foundation and the creation of this annual summit. We believe that prevention is far more powerful than cure. When parents are equipped with knowledge, communication, and support, they become the first and strongest line of defense against drug abuse. Today's summit is therefore not just about discussing a problem. It is about sharing practical solutions, building partnerships, and inspiring collective action. We want every participant to leave here better informed, encouraged, and committed to becoming an ambassador for drug-free society. And seek help whenever I, and seek help whenever I, or someone